Begin Podfix Network transmission in 3, 2, 1.
Chaffle.
Bad jokes.
Velociraptor.
One, two, three, four. Sitting on the bench. Writing's really hard. We need another snack. And that is just a fact. Oh.
Hi, this is Shauna.
And this is Trisha.
And this is Two Girls on a Bench.
The podcast.
We write on the bench.
We snack on the bench.
And most of all, we procrastinate on the bench. As we did this intro, we were debating having another drink, but then we stopped. So that's what happened there. I'm just going to read the quote. I'm not even going to chit chat.
We're just going to get right into it.
I'm just going to read this quote.
We keep talking to each other and then saying, oh, we should record
We
that.
should just have like a microphone all the time attached to us. Oh, wait, we do. Our phones, I guess.
I
don't know.
mean, what?
So Trisha just watched Jurassic Park, which is inspiring the author of this quote, not necessarily this quote. All right. Books aren't written, they're rewritten, including your own. It is one of the hardest things to accept, especially after the 7th rewrite hasn't quite done it. Michael Crichton.
So good.
Or Michael Crichton, if you're having trouble searching it on the internet. I'm just kidding.
Like I couldn't spell it.
It kept like auto-correcting or something. Or like
Auto-correcting to Christian. I'm like, no.
No.
Michael Christian
No
makes
autocorrect.
a very different response. It's like biblical.
Like Hans Christian
I don't
Andersen.
even know. It was
Even no, that's not
seemed
biblical. I don't know where I said that.
Hans Christian Andersen.
This is one of those
not
things
biblical.
just like, but it's like a word cloud where things are just connecting for me and they don't make any sense. Okay.
So, all right. First
Hello.
of all, yes. Well, this is a
everyone.
writing podcast for those of you who are new to the show, and maybe some people are. We don't know. You don't know.
I don't know.
Shauna, if you're new to the show, you'll know. You won't know,
You will know how to spell Michael Crichton.
but you won't know that Shauna gets mad whenever I say anything
get
about
mad
new
anymore.
people.
Ever since we started the keto diet, I only am mad at like the keto diet.
She's glad you're here, but she's mad at me all the time, and also Brad.
Okay, well, I'm not mad at you. Okay,
I'm just kidding.
so let's just tell everybody we were like,
But I was gonna
making an amazing snack book, and every time I would say something, she'd be like, "Why are you mad at me?" I'm all, "Do you have paper plates?" And I just said it like that, and she's like, "Why are you mad at me?" And I'm like, "I'm not mad. I just don't know where they are."
No, sometimes you'll be like, "Oh, do you use like cloth napkins at your house?" like that, like
Because you said that to me. I didn't make that up. You're all, it's either paper towels or cloth napkins, and I was like, "Cloth napkins? We're not doing that."
But I have like ratty ones we use for all the time.
But then you have to wash them.
I do.
And you were so
I'm so mad
you're
about
so
laundry all
bothered
the
about
time.
laundry and dishes. So I'm trying to help you avoid it.
And also, I'm killing like solely just me killing the earth.
Well, I am too.
Anyways, so this is a show about writing and friendship.
And apparently the near death of Mother Earth because of our use of paper plates.
Paper product usage.
You know what? We do other things that matter. And sometimes you have to balance it out because I can't feel guilty about everything.
No,
do you know what I mean?
same.
Like,
No, same.
and you know what? Someone can totally call me on this and it's fine. But like, there are certain things that in order to maintain my sanity, I don't use paper plates all day, all the time for every
I do.
meal. But like, no, but you don't because I've seen all your dishes.
No, but I do. Mostly.
But then you still have a lot of dishes. How does that happen? I don't know. I'm asking for a
'Cause if
friend.
you
I'm asking
cook-
for myself.
If you cook something,
yeah.
it makes pans.
So we have to cook all the time. Because we have
If
to
I
make
could
all our
cook-
own weird food.
If I could cook everything on paper plates, it would be much
Nutella
easier.
sandwiches for the
yeah,
kids.
just constantly. No.
Yeah, we feed our children chocolate sandwiches on a paper plate. So, I mean, whatever.
We're winning right now, okay? I don't care what's going on with you, but we're winning at whatever this is. So, anyways, I just wanted to say thank you for those folks who've sent feedback back. Feedback
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. I don't know how else you would say
Sounded
it.
weird.
Who have sent us feedback.
Thank you for our screenplay because it's super useful. And here's the thing to me that was the most useful about the feedback received so far. There was a list of problems, but also a list of the things I loved about it or the person loved about it. So it would be like, this was off, maybe do this, constructive. But then also it was like anything that they loved, they called out, which then it like eases any concern over what rewrite needs to happen next, because the parts that I love the most, I saw other people loving the most.
Yeah.
And that like made me so happy.
That's so like reaffirming for us
Yeah.
because, or affirming, I guess. I don't need to be reaffirming, but yeah,
maybe
because
at this point in the game, reaffirming because it's been so long that we've been working on this.
well,
thing,
and it's funny
so.
because I hate to say it, but like one of the things that I think we love about our screenplay are all of the supporting characters, and mostly some of the feedback we've gotten already is we want to see more of the supporting characters, which makes me
Right?
happy because I love the supporting characters. And it was
Same.
really hard for us to make our main characters lovable. And it seems like we've done it, or not, maybe not lovable, but
We made it work though.
make you like root
For them, even though
'Cause
they're
at one point,
kind of dicks to each other.
Our main
Yeah.
character was kind of hateable. Like we kind of hated her.
No, we had a lot of sessions called "How to Make Our Main Character More Lovable," like where we would just brainstorm
Or like,
on like
not suck. Or,
what,
I don't know.
yeah, what makes you likable even when you do unlikable things in your life. Like, why do your friends stick
Why
around?
are you still on their side?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you're like rooting for them.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, like the amazing, this is a random example, but just popped in my head, but it's sort of like The Sopranos. Like you are like, Tony Soprano is like not a good person, but the whole time you're like rooting for him. You're like,
Yeah.
oh
like-
my God,
like
I hope they
Dex-
don't get caught. Oh my God, he's
like
going
Dexter.
to this. It's, yeah,
Dexter kills people.
it's really, but if
and you're like so nervous he's gonna get caught.
that is good writing because you really like come and our character is not a murderer nor a mobster.
Maybe she should be.
person, but she is like, you know, a selfish artist, and so like that's like that can be very unlikable if you don't do it right. So anyway, it just made me feel good that because I felt like that was really hard for us, and
It took the side characters that everybody
everything
loved.
that we got,
that was easy
right.
for us.
yeah.
The main characters, the whole point of the story, that was really hard. Maybe we should just write a movie all about the side characters. Like, fuck a plot.
You know what? And then it'll be called
Waiting to start.
Waiting for the main character. No, it won't. It'll be called.
Turn.
You know, like Boys on the Side. It'll be called Characters on the Side.
You're dumb. Okay. For those of you who are new to the show, all of our projects seem to have the word waiting in them. So that's why I made that joke.
Waiting for the main character to arrive. It's really long too. It's like a really long sentence. Waiting for something to happen that hasn't happened yet. Yeah, okay, I lost it.
Moving right
I
along.
had nothing after.
So anyway, so that quote to tie it all back together, because that's what we do.
With Michael Crichton.
That's right. Jurassic Park. So my daughter's 10 and a half. We watched Jurassic Park. It was like eye-opening for me because I was telling Shauna there's not as much action in movies from like 20 years ago as now. And the story, the lead up and the layers of the story for the first hour, there's no real like dinosaur situation happening that's scary. That whole scene in front of the T-Rex paddock happens 60 minutes into the movie. And I know this because My son made us turn it off the first time we watched it, and he was like screaming and scared, and I was like, I just broke my child. But popped some headsets on him, and then we finished watching it with Lacey, and she was like totally like into it, and it was scary. That part in the kitchen, that's like the
To me, that's the scariest part of the movie.
that's like the
It's so stressful. I remember when I watched it the first time in the theater being like almost feeling hysterical
But
with the
did you-
characters because you're like, they can't get out.
Did you remember the part where the car falls through the tree
No.
and the little boy is in the car and he's getting him out, and the little boy's like a nerd, and he's like, do you know how to climb trees? And he's like, no. He's like, I read your book, I love dinosaurs, like,
Yeah.
and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna walk you through it, and the car's like about to fall, and they have to like
I don't remember
go
that
down
part.
the tree. Really, there is so much stress from 60 minutes to 90 minutes. It is nothing but just high intensity. There's like little jokes here and there, little moments of levity, little breaks, but it's like pretty intense. And then just when you think everything is okay, and then this is what makes it such a great movie, the little girl's eating the Jello, and they're the food, and they're doing that little like thing where kids dance while they're eating, and they're all like, he got electrocuted on the fence. I forgot about that part.
I don't remember that part either. I need to watch this movie again. I
They're
like don't
climbing
remember
over the
hardly anything.
10,000 volt fence, and he's like, the little boy again is slow at climbing. He's like trying to climb down, and the freaking they're in the other scene, they're trying to get the power back on so they can arm all the T-Rexes
to
and
keep
crap, right?
the dinosaurs on.
And the little boy's on the fence when the power turns on.
I don't know how they didn't die.
Dude, he almost did. So then by the time they're in that kitchen scene, they've already fallen in a car down a tree, almost been eaten by a T-Rex like twice, and been electrocuted by a 10,000 volt fence. So then when the Velociraptor's going to now get them, like, oh my God, it's exhausting. Like, that's why we were crying at that point in the movie.
Because it's so stressful. You're so stressed with them at that point. That must be why you're right.
You're
It
so
builds up.
relieved.
It
You're like,
builds up.
oh, eat like some Jello, and like the little girl's got her Jello, and she's like about to eat it, and she's staring at the camera, and we were watching some of the making of it, and you forget the camera's like right in their face. And I was showing Lacey that because I'm like, it's not like they're all far away,
like theater, where you're like, you have space.
The camera's like right there, and this little girl goes from like happy eating Jello, and then her face, that's when I started to cry. I remember in the theater, her face goes from like happy to like trembling and scared, and her brother's just watching her, and he's like eating marshmallows and like all happy, and then all of it, I need to like film myself talking about this.
Yeah,
I'm doing
I was
this.
just, she's like doing all these little happy like eating,
and then his face
dancing, eating things,
and then he slowly looks, and that's when you see the shadow of that Velociraptor, and then oh my God,
they're like the worst.
it is
They're the scariest to me.
It's crazy, but they lay that groundwork for a good hour in a very patient way, and that like it was I felt like respectful of the script, because it's not just a bunch of jump scares and cheap tricks.
No, I mean,
it was very well laid out. Like,
that's kind of like too when you know it's from a book, where it's like when you can sort of tell that there's
Well,
so
and he
much
helped.
story, like there's so much story underneath it that it's not.
Did you read the book?
No.
Aaron read all the books.
Huh.
My husband, and he said it's even better, of course, because the book's always better
because there's more detail.
But what makes the movie good is that the author of the books, Michael Crichton,
Crichton.
I'm just kidding. He wrote the screenplay. He was a part.
It's kind of like Margaret
Atwood
with the
which
Handmaid's Tale.
Exactly what I said yesterday.
Coming.
It's just like Margaret Atwood. She writes all her screenplays too, or helps.
Said Shauna and Trisha all
So
the
this
time.
is not a movie podcast.
No, but it's about writing,
and that's what I was like.
We try to write a movie. So
and when you
do intersect a little
when you
bit.
take a screenwriting class, which we've done, they tell you, like, you have to have your action is at 30 minutes or page 30,
We've never
60,
have we taken
90.
a screenwriting class? We took a directing class. It was
Yeah, you're right.
terrible.
I'm totally a liar.
I mean, we've like taught
when
ourselves.
you read a bunch of screenwriting books, like
what we did.
Screenwriting for Dummies, they tell you. But I mean, I have to think that there's got to be some sort of, there is in a novel, right? You've got to have your marks that you're hitting to reach the conclusion, the climax and conclusion, and that's all you're trying to do in a movie too, just in a more tightened up way.
I mean, I have not written a novel, although I know many of our benchlings have. Good for them. Like, they've written a few.
Several of our benchlings have.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's like, oh yeah, like I wrote a book, and I'm like, oh my god, like I can't even like write a journal entry. What's my problem? And yet we are the authorities on writing. Just kidding. We're the authorities on procrastinating.
Yeah, we're the authorities on snacking and benches.
Which reminds us that we have a snack.
Okay, enough
to end all snacks.
Jurassic Park chat by Trisha. Sorry. Okay, bye.
What's going on, guys? This is Andrew from Podflix and Chill, and you're listening to Two Girls on a Bench on the Podfix Network.
Give me that snack book!
Hi, this is Snack Book.
Oh my God, that was scary.
You said energetic. I was trying to be energetic. We made the coolest snack book, and
that was pretty epic.
It's kind of epic because we used the sandwich maker, which we have talked about quite a bit.
Yes,
and
from the infomercial. I had fixins.
Trisha kept saying fixins. I have the fixins for pizza.
Pizza fixins.
I got all the fixins.
I got pepperoni and mozzarella for the boys. You know, they like the fixins on their pizza fixins.
The kids just love this.
They love the peppers and the olives, the fixins.
Trisha didn't have it like all organized like that.
I have one of those trays though with like the little compartments. I thought about
created another scenario to clean something.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the only reason I didn't make that happen for you.
My dog is trying to get in. She's kind of like a dinosaur.
She's
like, we were just talking about
my
dinosaurs
personal
getting
velociraptor.
I know, she's all.
She thinks we're eating like beef jerky in here.
We were, but that was in the other room.
No, but she's like, she gets obsessed. If you have the beef jerky, she's like,
because it's just like meat. I mean, it's just straight up meat. Okay, so but that's not what our snack book was.
Nope.
We made. Okay, so there's this keto thing called a chaffle. I feel like I have to start from the beginning because it's a lot.
Start at the very beginning.
It's called a chaffle, and it's made of 1 egg, half a cup of mozzarella cheese, and a tablespoon of almond flour.
When you don't eat carbs, you eat a lot of eggs and cheese.
Yeah. So Trisha's like, I can't make my chaffles come out good. And I was like, I am getting good at making chaffles. And you just want to say chaffle a lot.
And I said, my chaffles are awful.
And like, you're like eggy or something.
There's too much egg in my chaffle.
There's too much egg in your
Except that's like all a chaffle really is like 1 tablespoon of flour and like egg.
And cheese.
And cheese.
So it does have like a nice like sort of. So here's the thing about the chaffles, everybody. You make it, and it's sort of like you could. I guess you. You could do a million things with it.
It's called a.
Trisha raised her hand. Everybody, in case you wanted to know.
From a year of doing school at home. Okay.
Yes. Yes, Miss Marsa.
It's called a chaffle because you usually make it in a waffle iron. So it's
I'm sorry.
It's a cheese waffle, essentially a chaffle.
Oh, I didn't even like care or think about what the name meant. That's funny. It's made in a waffle iron, which my sandwich maker has. It has the sandwich plates, the waffle plates, and like a grill plate, which is sort of like what you would do like a panini, or
and this
maybe you could grill food on it. I don't know.
Sandwich thing is like sponsoring our podcast.
I mean, they really should because I'm like preaching this waffle whatever. Anyway,
sandwich maker kit.
So we made the chaffles, and then the thing about chaffles is you want them to be kind of crispy. You don't want them to be soggy because then they're like, eh. So you put them We let them get really
Like
crispy.
what food do you make where you're like, this is something you want to be soggy? Like just let this be
I
soggy.
don't know.
I'm just kidding.
But it's easy for them to be soggy. And they're
Yeah.
like, don't store them in like a plastic bag. Oh, that was the only thing you did. Sorry.
What do you store them in then? What do you
But it,
store?
like the moisture collects around it, and then it's just like soggy chaffle. Sorry. I don't know what's happening to me. My brain
and
is
you
short
claim you're
circuiting.
not mean to me, but you were secretly judging my plastic baggie.
No, I read that somewhere, and I was like, oh shit, you put it in a plastic bag that you're not supposed to do.
I
that.
let
But
it
how would you
cool
have known?
completely
It
first.
doesn't matter. It doesn't
Oh
matter,
my god,
Trisha.
I'm throwing it away.
So we could probably just like bring it back to life by throwing it back in the waffle iron. You're so sad right now. So then we took our chaffles. So I made 4 chaffles so we could each have a sandwich, right? So made the chaffles, and then in a moment of brilliance, I was like, let's put it on a wire rack so that it like gets air underneath it and one side doesn't get soggy.
That was smart.
It was maybe the smartest thing I've done in weeks. I don't know, years.
Definitely
maybe.
weeks, maybe a year. I would
Up
say
there.
I would say at least this whole year.
Chaffle aficionados, listen up. This is a big game changer.
This is
Okay.
all this work is just so we don't eat bread.
Yeah. Well, we like to fool around with a waffle
I
sandwich
mean,
maker
it
also.
is kind of fun.
So then we're like, okay, we got these chaffles, and then we make them into a pizza sandwich, which is in our screenplay, but is also not in our screenplay because there's no keto in 1996.
So it was just like with white bread and like a pizza.
Yeah, so we
Vixen.
made pizza with a cheese crust, basically, which is
cheese,
fine.
egg, almond flour crust.
So we then put on the chaffle, we put sauce and like a red sauce that Trisha had that was like low sugar, which was cool.
No, sugar free.
I mean, sugar free. Yeah, I guess so, right?
Because as we've learned, everything has added sugar in it.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
No, it's crazy.
I thought sugar was just like candy or something. and
beef
I'm
jerky
like,
has sugar in it. Like it's crazy, you guys. Like there's sugar in everything, and so the carb amount will be a whole bunch, and you're not even really. You're like, I'm just gonna have a bagel thin, but oh, it has 16 grams of sugar and 30 grams of carbs. Like it's like crazy. So
it is crazy, everyone.
It's made us.
This sugar thing is crazy.
It's made us a little more aware of
Screaming.
the amount of sugar we were consuming without even knowing it. Like, you wouldn't even think you're making spaghetti for your family. Oh, I'm making like a healthy-ish meal or whatever. Or I'm eating spaghetti squash with sauce, right?
You're making spaghetti for your family.
Shut up.
Sorry. I don't know why that was
Or
funny.
for yourself. I turn into like a weird Michigan mom, like...
It's like bordering on fixins. You know what I mean? It's like very
I was
close.
almost there.
You're
I was
almost
like, you got all the you got the Parmesan cheese, you got garlic
You
bread,
make things for your family
little
and you just
Caesar
say,
salad on the side. Oh my god!
I'm sorry, I don't even know.
Or for me, I'm gonna have a spaghetti squash, like with some turkey meatballs and like some sauce. That seems like a sugar.
Yeah, and the
that
sauce
sounds like
has,
a
like-
sugar-free meal.
Yeah.
But the sauce has like 15 grams of sugar because there's
hate
added
that.
sugar in the tomato sauce, and tomatoes are already sweet. You
It's
don't
like
need
a preservative
sugar.
or a taste enhancer. You know how
It's
we're
a
all
taste-
addicted to salt, sugar,
It's a taste
and
enhancer.
whatever the other thing
It's not
is.
a preservative.
Fat.
Sugar's not a preservative.
No, but it's like it's an enhancer. Haven't you heard? There's this book called like Salt, Sugar, Fat, or
Oh.
maybe that's not what the book is. But anyway, there is a book called that. But actually, I don't know if this is what it's about. So I might be wrong.
But I never read it, but I'm going to talk about it real
But
quick.
there's been all these studies done where it's like that's like the food thing where like
We're addicted
all
to
the processed food.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like we're addicted to the salts and sugars mostly.
To like a
you know.
profile or an enzyme situation going on
Yeah.
like, in the food.
That's why I was like all fucked up when I started this diet.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I was just
You're
talking to my
detoxing sugar.
hairstylist who's amazing. Thanks, Osh. But we were together for a long time yesterday because it takes a long time to dye my hair. And we were talking about, he's all, yeah, it sounds like you were like detoxing from it. I'm like, I was so pissed. I was so angry, and then I was like dizzy, and like it's like, wow, that was a thing.
Yeah.
Like that was like quite a thing.
Like it's people say sugar is a drug, but I was always like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I always like hated it when people said that.
Like you're stupid, but like it is a lot. Like the other
It's
day,
not a drug, but I mean, and I'm not never gonna have it, but,
but
it's weird how it's in everything.
your
and you don't realize
body
it.
is strangely addicted to it, and you don't realize how much you're actually. And I know we sound all weird and stupid about it, but like it's true. Like you don't realize how much you're actually eating until you start really.
And look, we're not gonna
looking.
never have sugar, and like at
It's
a certain point we will
impossible.
modify, but we're just trying to like lose some like lbs, you know. Everybody,
LBs? Like, what are you, 22? Like,
I'm cute and
bet
clever.
you're so cute. Cool.
I don't know, just like
Some
I told you the words
LBs?
pop into my brain though, and I see them, and then sometimes I
I
say
guess
things.
Shauna coined it here first. Don't say you're losing pounds. Say you're losing LBs.
I think I've heard someone else say that. I'm pretty sure I stole that. I didn't think of that.
Okay.
I don't know.
If you
Maybe I
did, that
did.
might be the second best thing you've done besides chaffle sandwiches.
Besides my invention. Okay, wait, we're
Oh,
not done.
do
We got
it.
stuck on the spaghetti sauce for your family.
Sorry. And you're just making your family dinner
You're just doing
every
it.
night, like I do, and we sit at the table with real plates.
And real napkins. apparently.
Liar, lies, lying, lies. Okay.
So, sauce, cheese, more cheese because the bread's made out of cheese. It's actually not a lot, but it's just to kind of like hold it together, honestly, like inside. And then we put like a chicken sausage that that was yummy, and then we put a big piece of pepperoni.
I've been Instacarting my groceries because I'm lazy and busy. And they didn't have like the pepperoni I wanted, and so I just was like picked another brand or whatever. You know, it'll be like, do you want a different kind? And I'm like, yes, I still want pepperoni. I didn't know there was sandwich size pepperoni, but apparently
I've never had
is.
it before, but it was great because you just put one.
It's like a salami, basically.
Yeah, you just put
like-
one in the middle, and it like fills up the whole chaffle. And then we put more sauce on the other side, and like put some more seasoning, like oregano and garlic powder, just to like amp it up. And then we put that chaffle in the sandwich maker
and smushed it.
and smushed it, and then it was a sandwich.
It was good. It tasted like
was-
a little pizza.
Pretty good, actually. I can't lie about this.
No,
Why
it's
would I
pretty-
lie? It doesn't really matter.
Stop lying. It was pretty satisfying though, even for, not having bread, like, or crust.
Well, I've been
or-
using this chaffle thing to make sandwiches. As long as you put a bunch of stuff on it, it doesn't really taste like anything. It's not like,
Right. It's just
you
a
know?
holder.
because
for the
mozzarella
other
cheese is
stuff.
kind of bland.
Yeah.
Like in a good way where like it's not going to like upstage anything else.
Mhm.
You know, it's like our supporting characters. Full circle, everybody. You're on the
Oh,
bench.
this is a writing podcast.
This is a writing podcast.
What?
Okay, I don't have anything else to say. We also had some vodka. I was going to make some drink that was like low carb cocktail. And I was like, that's fun. And then when I actually looked at it, it was like 10 carbs for a drink. And I was like, that's like a piece of bread. Like, why would I do that? And I was like, never mind. We're just going to have vodka and sparkling water because there's no carbs in that. I was trying to be fancy, but I don't make cocktails ever. And I think that's why. Actually, it's not why, but I'm just lazy. But I don't know. Trisha's busy right
I'm
now.
texting with the Podfix Network, which we are a part of, which you should go check out the shows.
Oh my God.
Podfix Presents. We just we're just at the end of March Madness when this episode's coming out. If you leave a review, turns out if you leave a review anywhere, not just on Podfix Presents, you'll be entered into the whole like drawing for a prize thing. I know, right?
I feel like I went in and did some reviews this last week. Actually,
just been like advertising it completely wrong. So you could win a mug, Shauna. You could. So, anyways,
no, it's very exciting.
yeah, I'll talk about
But
it.
I really
more.
want other people to win it. I probably shouldn't win it.
Yeah, you don't deserve it.
I don't really. Just... Wah, wah.
All right. It's time for a writing now.
Yeah.
Because it's a writing podcast, by the way. Goodbye. It's not a cooking show or a movie podcast or something else. Okay.
Do you like comedy? Do you like animals? What about science? Do you dig plants? What about writing, snacks, rambling, and rants? Filmmaking, improv, and interviews? Canadians, Australians, voting forecasts and soup reviews? Perfectly baked packages popping up, podcasts pointing people to discover other podcasts? Check out the Podfix Network, podfixnetwork.com. Plus, check out Podfix Presents, wherever fine podcasts are found. The Podfix Network, artist-owned and loved.
Write it, bitch.
And this
I'm
is-
telling Shauna right now that it's inspiring to others when we fail. To make myself feel better
which I'm
about
not
failing.
sure how that makes sense, but it does. So
Like, I mean, don't you like it when people are real and you're like, oh, I'm just like that when I fuck that up? Also,
So we've been trying to write jokes because, like, I was like texting Trisha yesterday, and I was like, "We should write keto jokes." And then Trisha's like, "This keto walks into a bar," and
no,
I
I
was
said
like,
this dirty keto.
"Oh,
walks
dirty
into
keto,"
a
and I
bar.
was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what we should do, right?"
It's only funny if you know that there's like different stages of keto. Like there's lazy keto, there's dirty keto, there's strict keto.
And I've created my own brand of crazy keto,
Crazy keto,
like
is
a K
Shauna.
crazy.
My sister and I are lazy, but I think I might be dirty too. Mostly though because I want to say I'm a dirty keto.
Well, everybody does
because it's just
I mean,
funny.
everybody we know. Actually, lots of people don't care about this.
Nobody
at all.
cares.
So we're
This
gonna
is
just
a
keep
diet
talking about it.
podcast. We can't not talk about what's happening directly to us at
But
any given time.
This is the thing. It's all tied in with snacking and writing
It's
and
true.
everything that we do. And
Stress.
so we're real.
Wait, what?
We're real about it. So here's a really good keto joke.
It's a
You guys
really
ready?
bad joke. A good bad joke.
This is all it says. So we've been trying to do this for like
an
30
hour.
minutes. For
You
like
guys,
an hour. I've lost track of time.
Like we've just like the whole day just went away of us trying to write jokes, and I'm like, what are we doing? Right
and then
now?
Trisha started looking up memes that were funny.
Yeah, and then
about
I'm like,
keto.
every other thing I looked up that was already funny about keto that's out there is already out there.
It's
So,
like, here's a
why
bowl
are
of
we doing
bacon.
it? Keto salad.
Lamborghini.
Oh, Lamborghini.
Wow.
Yes. Look how the doors go.
The
What?
doors open, and it's like the Italian flag.
And they go up.
It's a Lamborghini,
up.
everybody.
They go down and then they go.
You know, I'm really impressed by that. Here, come here.
What?
What's your favorite food joke? Do you have any food
Oh,
jokes?
do you have any food jokes?
Where'd you go?
He-
He just literally.
Lamborghini.
Yeah, take your Lamborghini.
You're so out of money for this Lamborghini.
Okay, bye.
Goes really fast.
This is why you shouldn't eat sugar, folks. That right there. Because I'm pretty sure the whole time we've been in here, he's been sneaking like lollipops and shit.
That was funny.
Yeah, he's
Here's a lot of
he's
money.
hilarious.
He's a lot funnier than our keto. You're all, what's your favorite food joke? And he just got like all
He
struck.
just got all
See?
crazy.
He
He's
doesn't like
all-
writing jokes.
You know
either.
what? You know what he thought? He thought that's not even a funny question, Mom. I'm
No,
not
it's
even gonna
not.
honor your question with a.
So we're
answer.
not comedians. Sometimes we can be funny, but when we try to be funny,
Why
it's
are you
not
here?
funny.
Oh,
It's
now
not
the
funny.
dog's in here. You know what's funny is we've been sitting in here for
This
like
is like-
45 minutes and no one's come in. And as soon as we started recording,
This is like marching band material. Well, our band may come through at any moment. We just-
I mean, that's go. Nope.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
I'm gonna walk in a circle in a small room. Get out of here.
There you go.
That was so complicated.
Yeah, she was like chasing her dog around a very small space.
This is a very small room. It's not like like. Just read the damn fucking joke that's so bad. Just read it.
Here it is, everybody. This dirty keto walks into a bar and says, "Give me a vodka soda and a bowl of cheese." Dun, dun, dun. There we go. Okay, well, this is even worse. because this doesn't make any sense. So let's read this next one. This is the classic like walks into a bar, like a dirty keto, a lazy keto, and a strict keto walk into a bar. Okay,
I thought you were just gonna do the two.
that
Oh, you're gonna just read it. Okay.
I don't
Just
know what
do
I
it.
did.
Do
The
it.
strict keto says, "Can I have a quarter cup of nuts and 2 ounces of vodka?" The lazy keto says, "Can I just have some nuts and the vodka?" And the dirty keto says, "This isn't funny," which is why I'm laughing for you. The dirty keto says, "Give me a burger, no bun, and a whiskey, no water."
Okay, I wanted to say the dirty. Done. But I think the dirty keto should have. So the strict
That's not
keto
funny.
says, give me 2 ounces of vodka and a quarter cup of nuts. The lazy keto says, just give me the vodka and the nuts. And the dirty keto says, I just want to stick my nuts in your vodka.
Oh, that was. You didn't tell me that. You just made that up right now.
Yeah, I did. I said it earlier. I said there's something about the nuts. He wants to stick his nuts
Oh,
in
I
the
forgot
vodka.
to tell you that I was organizing my nuts earlier.
Speaking of nuts and
So
vodka.
back to the frozen nuts. So like this is I don't know snack book adjacent. Like I don't even know what's happening anymore because our jokes are not good.
I don't know. My dog just started barking.
Yeah, the Lamborghini came
I
in.
have no idea what's happening right
That
now.
was really weird. Okay, so I was like, I'm gonna do what Trisha did and like mix up a bunch of nuts and put them in the freezer.
Cold nuts, baby.
So I did like almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and pecans, and then I was like, but I spent first I had to clean out my freezer because I couldn't fit like a container in there, and then I was like pouring all the nuts and then like trying to mix them around so like when you get it, you'll get not just walnuts, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
So I did it. I organized my nuts, and now I'm ready for the week.
All right. So moving on to the super fun part
Okay.
of today's episode.
Thankfully, something good did happen.
Those.
I mean, will happen. We haven't done it yet. Well, you did. Trisha wrote a beautiful song.
I can't take credit for writing the song. I rewrote the words to a really
But
good
you wrote the lyrics.
gypsy punk song called "Start Wearing Purple," and I rewrote it for our benchlings: Kayla, Drew, Brett, and Hammer.
And this song is by an amazing. Oh, and it's in a movie soundtrack. Oh, for a little circle.
Oh.
So Gogol Bordello is the name of the band, and there's this.
Is that his
really,
name?
No, it's. I think it's
This
the name
is
of
the
the
name of the
band.
band. Okay.
Actually, I don't know if it's his name.
I
That's a
always
good
thought his
question.
name was
So
Gogol.
this is a really funny. Well, it's not funny, but really great movie called Everything Is Illuminated, and
Yeah.
this guy's in it, and he plays the guy from the band. He's mainly in a band, but like he's also just randomly an actor and super funny.
He
I
is.
mean, he should be.
Well, he
an
was in
actor.
that movie Wrist Cutters too, which is like another really good movie.
yeah.
And they play another song from this band. They only have one tape of one song that they have to play over and over and over again.
And they're like
Anyways.
known as like gypsy punk, I guess. Yeah, like Trisha said. And so
They like toured with Madonna at one point. you
this
guys.
song is like the best, and it's called. Did you already say the name of the song?
Start Wearing Purple.
Oh,
I did.
Start Wearing Purple.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry. Well, I
It's
wanted to go
okay.
back and talk about the movie because
Talk about the movie. Everything is illuminated.
well, I mean, it's like kind of complicated.
I mean,
It's a lot
start
to
at
talk
the beginning.
Just tell the
I'm just
entire-
kidding.
It's what's his name? The Hobbit. What's his name? That actor.
Toby Maguire.
No. That is wow.
He's in Wrist Cutters though, right?
Toby Maguire?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember that movie as well as you do. Apparently, there's a lot of people in that movie. No, the guy that was in Lord of the Rings, like the main guy. Okay, whatever. Everybody knows who he is. I can't think of his name right now. He made this movie, and freaking oh my god, so many good people were involved in this movie, and I'm so sad because I can't remember anybody's. Liev Schreiber. Liev Schreiber directed this movie, and maybe wrote it, or maybe just directed it. And Hobbit guy is the main character, and it's basically about somebody going back to
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood. Thank you.
Mhm.
It's basically about somebody going back to find like their ancestry or their relatives in their Ukrainian, maybe Czech.
Yeah, Czech, I think.
So they go, he goes, and then he ends up meeting these relatives. And so the Gogol Bordello guy is one of his relatives, and he's freaking hysterical. It's one of the best scenes.
That's not Toby Maguire.
I don't know who that is.
That's the guy from Wrist Cutters. His name is. He is in Almost Famous. Also, his name is
No.
Patrick Fugit. Yeah,
Okay, I
he
don't
was
even
in
know who
Almost
that is.
Famous. He was the
Okay.
little guy that trying to write.
I don't care about that. But what I do care about, there's this amazing scene and everything is illuminated. The music is so good. Buy the soundtrack or just go listen to it or whatever. Buy it. Like you can buy that anymore.
Listen to it on Apple.
Just
Music.
go find it somewhere. But the music is great. And so the guy from Gogol Bordello, whose name I don't know, he has this whole scene where he's like, oh my God, there's so many funny things in that movie. He's got this whole scene where he walks in and he's like, I walk into a bar, I am a premium dancer. And then he goes in and he's like dancing and he's like, I'm like Michael Jackson. Like, I'm such a good dancer. But it's just like really funny. I can't even explain why the way I'm describing it's not really working, but it's super funny.
So his name is Eugene Hutz, Hutz. And he's our age. I thought he was like way older than us.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to know. I mean, I have to say, like, it kind of makes sense that he's our age, actually, but because we saw him in movies, sometimes it's just hard to, like, gauge
It
that.
just always felt like that. Maybe
Yeah.
because he's way more successful than we'll ever be.
They did tour with Madonna, so there was that part of it.
But
But-
anyways,
Anyway, he does, and then there's another thing in that movie that's super funny is that like this guy Elijah Wood goes to visit these people, and he's very straight laced and weird. Remember, he's like very like he has all these weird organized things, and it's just a very interesting movie. And so the grandpa is like blind. But like everybody's just like really loud and funny in this family, and then they call the dog Sammy Davis Jr. Jr. Do you remember that?
yeah.
And it's so weird. It's like Sammy Davis Jr. Jr. And you're like, what? Because we used to call
It's just like super quirky.
we used to call Angel Elizabeth Taylor. See, it was just like one of
Yeah.
those things we picked up from that movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a long story that's not very interesting.
This is a movie podcast.
However, I'm talking about the writing and the
That's right.
majesty of the characters, and that relates.
For sure.
And
Also, I rewrote this song for the Benchlings that submitted limericks last week, and mostly I, think of myself as like a Weird Al Yankovic kind of person where I want to rewrite
weird Trisha
lyrics to be funny. Right now, it's just like so sad and tired.
Weird Trisha,
Weird Trisha.
which is weird.
It's like it doesn't work. Weird Al works like super well.
Weird Trish.
I'm Weird Trish. I'm Trish, the weirdest niche. I don't know what's happening right now. But anyways, I like to rewrite songs, and those of
You're
you
so good at it.
have listened to the podcast for a while.
You guys
know
are gonna
what
like
we're
this 'cause
talking about.
I was very impressed. And then Trisha started sending me. Okay, we talked about this before, but Trisha gets on a weird tear where suddenly she's like, "This person is like this person of this era." And it's like it started like the
Okay.
poor man's whatever, like when we were doing that for a long
Ruth
time.
B, who sings Lost Boy. I am a lost one. Piano, Grammys, Peter Pan. Okay, go listen
Do you
to
recognize her?
go listen to Paula Cole 1996 This Fire album, the song Hush Hush Hush. It sounds exactly the same. You
I don't-
guys.
So Trisha's sending me these, and then you sent me like another one where it was like, this person is the this and this, and I was like, what are you? And it was like 9:00 in the morning or something, and I was like, what are you doing right now? Like, what's happening? I don't understand.
All right, so I haven't been like meditating or anything. But over the past couple weeks, I decided to try and play the ukulele every day. So I've been looking up songs I like to try and play them. So then I got a weird idea in my head that I should go back and revisit Paula Cole because I used to like her songs. And then that like led me to revisit Peter Gabriel because she toured with him. And then that led me down a rabbit hole about how Paula Cole is a singer-songwriter who uses the piano, much like Tori Amos. also much like Ruth B. 2-3 decades later.
This is like a weird serial killer
This is-
wall.
There's like a red yarn.
Yeah, there's yarn.
It's just musicians and albums and like my like weird. No, when I do, I get on a tear and then I have to listen to the song over and over. And Aaron's like, "Why are you listening?" I'm
You've
like,
always been
have
like that,
I-
but it's just.
Do you know what I said to him? I said, "Do you not know me at all?"
Yeah, well, but you've always, but this comparison thing is new. Like that wasn't what it was before.
I think it's because Lisi's starting to like her own music, and I'm trying not to say that's not a new idea. We already did that in the 90s. That's basically like always on the tip of my tongue. Like she got her hair cut, and I'm like, I had the haircut in the 90s. She put a barrette in. I'm like, I used to put barrettes in my hair in the 90s. She wants to wear overalls, by the way. I used to wear overalls in the 90s.
She looks
like,
exactly like Trisha. It's
Oh my
literally
God.
like mini me.
it's
Well,
crazy. But
I mean,
no,
it's fine.
but I don't want to be like saying that because I remember my parents saying that similar things,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh,
And
Bell
it-
Bottoms
did
came
you-
back,
yeah,
or
did
like
you
whatever.
care? No, you didn't care. Sorry, Alan Vi, but we didn't care. Like if it was something you already did, or you thought it was cool, or it already happened
No,
with
because
someone
every
cooler,
generation invents
their
the
own
same
cool
thing that
thing.
already happened,
Yeah,
really.
over
But
and
yeah,
over.
you know,
And so
I
I
told you,
guess-
it's like when people discover Bob Marley when they're in college and they're like, "Oh my god, reggae!" And you're like, "Yeah, everybody discovers that and like thinks they own it,
Yeah.
even though they don't."
Yeah.
like it's weird.
So I guess I'm having my own journey with that right now, where I'm privately. I can only tell
Serial
you.
Killer wall.
I can only tell you about my.
Well, now
my
everyone else
musings.
knows. Sorry, because I
Because
made
I
you
don't
talk
want
about
to tell my daughter that I think that some of the music I'm trying to learn on ukulele for her
You
sounds
went
just
off, but
like,
it was like when you went off about Billie Eilish and Poe, and I was like, "What?"
no, I get really into it.
You like really?
Like I'm scaring my family.
all I do is like Pinterest 10,000
No.
recipes.
What about
and memes.
what about the wormhole you went into of all the movies we've ever liked?
Oh yeah,
and
no.
what year they
oh, no,
came out?
I will do that. For
and
sure.
like the soundtrack for our movie and like
Do you see the pattern of me liking movie soundtracks? That's the only reason we even know who Gogol Bordello is. It's because I was like obsessed with that movie
Yeah,
and the
it is.
soundtrack.
No, it
and
is.
like, no, it's weird. I don't know. I love movie soundtracks.
all right.
My
okay.
favorite is the soundtrack to Big Night. So
Same.
There you
Still. And now Stanley Tucci is living it. Fucking asshole.
We love him so much.
so much love. Okay. This has been a huge buildup. I hope the song lives up to your
It's really good.
expectations.
I'm very impressed.
All right, and,
I endorse this fully.
I am getting some nice calluses for my ukulele endeavors, and yeah, here we go. I have nothing else to say. Okay, so like keep writing,
Keep snacking.
and then the song will come next. Like
There's
I don't
a
know.
very special.
I'm like mad right now.
I don't know why you're mad at me. Just put a chip clip on her nose.
I did. It hurt really bad. It was like not a good idea. All right, we love you guys so much.
Stay tuned for the song.
Okay, bye. But not really.
Ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Start writing benchlings, Start writing benchlings for me now. All your submissions and prompts we will be reading, we promise. Because it's Bench Write Club time. So, yeah, ha! Start writing benchlings, Start writing benchlings for me now. All your submissions and prompts we will be reading, we promise. Because it's Bench Write Club time. We know you since you were a 20. We were 20. And you tried out for our play. A benchling writing baking lady will be perfect for still writing with us today. So, yeah, ha! Start writing benchlings, Start writing benchlings for me now. All your submissions and prompts we will be reading, we promise. Because it's Bench Right Club time. We start this writing pod never knowing who would show up. And Kayla and Drew still come now. They're super uber awesome writers and give friendship for two girls who write stuff down. So, yeah, start writing benchlings, writing benchlings. Start writing benchlings for me now. All your submissions and prompts we will be reading, we promise. Because it's bench writing time. So, yeah, start writing benchlings, writing benchlings. Start writing benchlings for me now. So why don't you start writing benchlings? Why don't you start writing benchlings? Start writing benchlings for me And all your sanity, fuck that up. All your okay, let's keep going. All your submissions and prompts we will be reading, we promise, because it's bench writing time. Brett me met when we were babies, just a babies, but here you are years from then. A benchling writing singer actor will be perfect for giving wenches a win. So yeah, start writing benchlings, writing benchlings. Start writing benchlings for me now. All your submissions and prompts we will be reading, we promise, because it's Bench Right Club time.
I was lost.
You were like, what's happening? I don't know. I'll just cut it. I like to just cut it out. Or I can put in my other amazing attempt at it. How was that?
You've been listening to a podcast of the Podfix Network. Discover more audible gems like this at podfixnetwork.com. Make sure to catch up-to-the-minute network shenanigans by following @Podfix on Twitter, official_Podfix on Instagram, @Podfix Network on Facebook. And make sure to subscribe to Podfix Presents wherever you choose to find podcasts. The Podfix Network, artist owned and loved.
Test, please.
I'm so comfortable. Hi, everybody. I'm so comfortable in my chair with my microphone stand.
Testing, test.
Testes.
We did that last week, too.
I know. I'm going to do it every week.
Oh, mine looks all small.
Yeah, your
My
testes
testes are small.